Ooh, I got a chocolate chip. So this is extremely unfortunate. I've been waiting all day to do this filming, and I just sat down and finally got started, and across the street they're having a tree trim. So I am hoping that it's not picking up too much of that background noise, but we're just gonna go with it and keep filming. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that these methods are based on my own opinion and experience and should not be taken for actual professional dental advice. If you have any questions that are related specifically to your mouth or your situation, you should visit your dentist. As always, it's important to visit your dentist at least twice a year for your regular preventative work, cleanings, checkups to make sure your teeth and your gums are healthy. So I have a list of about 8 different methods that you can use to help brighten or whiten your teeth. I want to go over the method, the cost associated with the method, and at least one pro and one con. Some methods have more than one. So method number 1, or option number 1 of teeth whitening, is to do nothing at all. There's nothing wrong with going all natural and just letting your teeth age with you. But there are other ways to kind of hide the yellowing of your teeth without doing anything to your teeth at all. And one of those that I can think of is to get a tan. If you brought in 2 people with the same shades of teeth, one fair-skinned and one darker skinned, the person with the darker complexion is going to appear to have brighter, whiter teeth than the fair-skinned person. It's just the way it is. It's like a contrast of colors that makes it appear that way. So the cost associated with doing nothing, or it would be very little. Either it's going to be $3 because you're doing nothing, or if you're going to get tanned, then I don't know what that costs, but that would be the only cost associated with going all natural. Let's see, a pro, and I'm reading off a list. I actually tried to get organized today, and I made a list so I wouldn't forget anything. So a pro would be that this is a great option for the low maintenance people out there because there is no upkeep. And a con is that you're not actually going to have brighter, whiter teeth. You're just concealing the fact that your teeth are darker. Option number 2 would be to use a whitening toothpaste. The cost associated with that is minimal. I don't know, I'm going to say like $3 to $5 for a tube of whitening toothpaste. I'm not really sure because I don't use whitening toothpaste. The time associated with that, I don't know. If it even works, maybe a few weeks before you see any results at all. I've never spoken with anybody that's had awesome results as far as whitening toothpaste. Some of the pros, let's see, maybe I should move this up here. A pro would be that it's easily accessible. You can buy that anywhere. You don't need to change any of your current habits. You're still gonna, be brushing your teeth as normal. You're just gonna be using a different toothpaste. And a con is those toothpastes tend to be aimed towards extrinsic stains only, so they are more abrasive. Abrasiveness can take a toll on your enamel over time. Enamel, it's a one-time deal. You don't get it back. It doesn't grow back like fingernails or hair. So if you wear it down, there's going to be serious repercussion associated with that. So that's why I stay away from those toothpastes. And another con is, are you really going to be able to achieve the goal that you're trying to reach with the whitening toothpaste? It's not magic. You're not going to go from one end of the shade guide to the other with a toothpaste. It's just not going to happen. Method number 3, some people are going to be like, wait, what? Would be rinsing with hydrogen peroxide. And yes, I am talking about the brown bottle. This is actually an oral rinse. It's also an antiseptic. Is that the right word? Yes, hydrogen peroxide is a first aid antiseptic. And if you read the back of the bottle, it actually says that it is an oral rinse, that it aids in the removal of phlegm, mucus, and other secretions associated with occasional sore mouth. So although the bottle doesn't recommend that you use it on the daily to whiten your teeth, if you do, it will whiten your teeth. The cost for a peroxide is very inexpensive. I looked it up on Target.com today. A bottle of this size, where this came from Target, is 95 cents. I don't know if that's a sale price or the actual price, but that's a great deal. It's cheaper than a bottle of water. And this is why I made that disclaimer in the beginning, because some dentists are all for, like, yeah, I use the peroxide for whitening. Others are like, don't ever put peroxide in your mouth. So use at your own discretion. I've done it before. I don't use it regularly because I personally don't like the aftertaste. And it's not so much a taste. I think it's just like the residual bubbles that just linger. I can't stand it, so I'd rather use other methods. The time associated with the whitening is if you're using it every day, once a day, I'm going to say within weeks, you're going to start noticing your teeth getting brighter. I've seen it. I know people that use it on the daily, and the results are quite amazing. A pro is that it doesn't take a lot of pre-planning. There are no dental visits associated with it. It's very inexpensive. You get good results, and it's easy to keep up. You just add one extra step into your morning routine. A con is that it can be harsh on your gingiva. If you have any sores in your mouth, like canker sores, cold sores, I would not recommend that you use it because it's gonna prolong the healing of your sore. And that pesky aftertaste or the bubbles, it's just, for me, it's not pleasant. Method number 4, most all of us have heard of Crest whitening strips. I have never used them myself. The cost associated, it's not that bad. When they first came out, they were kind of pricey and questionable, like, do these things really work? But right now at Target, they're going for $24.99 for a 12 count pack. And by 12, it's 12 applications. So you're actually getting 24 strips, but you're gonna use 2 strips each application, one for the upper, one for the lower, so that results in 12 applications. So it's not bad. It's like $2 each whitening session. The time associated, it's gonna vary, as with all these methods, it's gonna vary on how sensitive your teeth are to the whitening process, how bad your teeth are stained, and what end result you're looking for. So I'm gonna say it's gonna take a couple of weeks before you see any actual results. A pro of the Crest whitening strip method would be that it's pretty easily accessible. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. I think I've even seen them in the grocery stores. There's no prescription required. You can do it at home. A con, though, is that it's not professional grade. There are professional grade Crest whitening strips that you can purchase from your dentist. Those are going to be a little more expensive, but the ones that you buy in the drugstore, those are not. So they're going to be a little bit weaker of a concentration. The strips, this is a con, may not be long enough to cover your full smile. If you have a wide arch or a big smile, those strips are only so big. It might only cover like your first front 4 to 6 teeth. So either you're gonna walk around with like some really white upper front teeth and darker in the back, or you're gonna have to double up, which increases the cost. And when I say double up, I would think about using one here and maybe one in the middle or 2, I don't know. But it's gonna increase your cost either way if that's the route you go. Option number 5, and this is a great option. This is a method that I used myself for years and years, and that would be custom whitening trays that you get from your dentist. The cost associated is a little bit more expensive initially, depending on where you're located or your dental professional's fees. You should expect to pay anywhere from $300 to $500, maybe even more, for upper and lower tray, and then maybe 2 weeks worth of gel. So a pro for custom whitening trays is that you will achieve results. You can get pretty white with whitening trays if you're doing it like religiously. A A con is that it's not as easily accessible. If you run out of gel, you do have to run to your dentist. Most dentists keep it on hand. You can just pop in and purchase some, but it's not like running to the Target or whatever. And it is a little more pricey. I can't even give you a cost associated with gel because every office is completely different. Wearing the trays, it can be uncomfortable, and depending on the gel that your dental office provides, some of them are pretty quick. This is like a 30-minute gel. Other offices provide gels that you wear overnight. I hate those. The trays do tend to make me salivate more, so I'm constantly like spitting, which is gross. But yeah, there's a cost associated with it that dental insurances typically do not cover because it's considered cosmetic, and the number of office visits associated with custom whitening trays can also be considered a con. Method number 6. This is probably my least recommended whitening option. Nothing about this option appeals to me at all from a patient or dental professional perspective. It's just, and that would be in-office whitening. The cost associated with in-office whitening to me is just not worth it. It's not a permanent whitening. Expect to pay $500+ for one session of in-office whitening. To me, that's pricey. The time associated is, well, it's a one-time office visit, but you're not going to achieve the results that you're trying to get. I've seen on average people progress on the shade guide 3 to 5 shades, which sounds like, oh, okay. But if you're familiar with the dental shade guide 3 to 5 shades, it's not very significant at all. So whenever I had to perform in-office whitening on a patient, I dreaded it because I'm like, please let it be like results that they're happy with. I was always so nervous giving them the mirror, knowing how much they were paying for this and the results they were actually getting. I was just like, so one of the pros is there is no at-home upkeep. That's like the only pro that I can think of, is you don't have to do anything. Once you leave that office, those are your results. There's nothing to do at home. The con, there's a few. The results are usually lacking. Like I said, 3 to 5 shades on a shade guide, which is not much at all. It's uncomfortable for the patient. Like, we have to keep those teeth super dry. So there's a lot of materials that are put into your mouth. We have to lay you back. People don't like to swallow when they have a ton of stuff in their mouth, and they tend to salivate more. So it just gets really uncomfortable for them. And there really aren't a lot of dental offices offering this option anymore. So that's another con. If you're interested in it, good luck trying to find a good dentist that's going to do it for you. Method number 7. This is the method that I use. I've been using it for probably 5 years. It's my favorite. I consider it kind of a hybrid between the Crest strips and the actual custom trays, and that would be Opalescence to go. Opalescence used to be a professional grade only. You can only purchase these through your dentist, but I have found them online. On Amazon right now, they're going for about $69.99 for a box of 10. And when I say 10, that's 10 applications. So each pack does include an upper and a lower tray, which is awesome. One of the pros is that the whole family can use it. Not kids, I would say 15, 16 years old and up. My son, when he got his braces off, he used these and it was fine. But yeah, so like custom trays, you buy it for yourself, nobody else can use it. These, my husband uses from this box, I use it, my son uses it, so it's pretty awesome. Let's see, there are no dental prescriptions needed anymore because I found them online. So that's awesome. And you get the same results as the professional grade. A con is that there is waste. These are disposable trays. They're not permanent like the custom trays. The gel is thick. It will make you salivate, so that's kind of uncomfortable. The time associated, same thing as the whitening strips or trays. I would say a couple weeks before you achieve any really good results, which it's not terrible. So yeah, these ones you can do twice a day. So if you have an event coming up that you're wanting, like I need to get my teeth whitened fast, you can do it in the morning and you can do it again at night, which is awesome. The strips, it's only once a day. And the last whitening method, I think, is for the rich and the famous, that 1%, would be to do full crowns or veneers. People do it. We do it in our office. The cost associated is quite expensive. Expect to pay $1,000 to $1,500 per tooth. Yes, you heard that right, per tooth. So in an average smile, you're going to show about 10 upper front teeth. That's going to cost you maybe, on the cheap end, $15,000. I almost said $1,500. $15,000 for just your upper teeth. That's like a really, really good price. I would think you'd be paying more than that. And that's not counting your lower teeth. That's just upper. You don't want to do the upper and not the lower, because what's the point? The time associated, you are going to spend many hours in the dental chair. It's going to take quite a while to prep those teeth and get impressions and to make temporaries and try them all in and to cement them all in. It's pretty extensive. A pro is, other than good hygiene and your twice a year visits to your dentist, there is not a whole lot of upkeep that you have to do at home. I brush and floss and you're good. Another pro is that you can pick your shade. You can look at the shade guide and be like, that's the shade I want. That's the shade you're going to get. Unlike these other whitening products, you kind of just like keep going until you're like, yeah, that's good. And then you stop. It's permanent, so you won't restain over time. Like with these other products, it's temporary. You're going to pick up stain over time. But with the porcelain, it doesn't. So it's pretty permanent. You can even change the shape of your teeth. If you want longer teeth or more round teeth or square teeth, that can be worked out. So that's another cool aspect of going that route. Some of the cons are the cost. It's very, very expensive. Many dental visits associated with that. It's extensive dental work. If you have virgin teeth, like myself, I don't have any dental work done on my upper front teeth. That's always kind of risky, like drilling into a virgin tooth. Like, why would you, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to ruin a perfectly good tooth? I don't want to say ruin, but I'm just kind of like conservative when it comes to like dental work. So if it's a good tooth, why grind it? The crowns and veneers, they can come off. They're porcelain. They can break. So there is that risk associated with it as well. And we see it all the time. People that are on vacation, oh my God, I broke my crown or my veneer came off, and it's like catastrophic. So that's a risk. I mean, I guess we can all break teeth anytime, anywhere, but when you have an actual restoration like that, I don't know, I feel like it's an increased risk. So thank you all so much for watching, and I just want to kind of go over again that each of these methods do come with their own specific set of instructions that I did not cover here today. This video was based solely on my own experience and opinions on the products and the cost and the pros and the cons to help inform you, maybe to make a better decision on the route you want to take. It's not to be taken in place of a professional dental advice. Please do me a favor, visit your dentist at least twice a year, get your cleanings and your checkups, make sure your teeth are healthy and your gums are healthy, and yeah, see you guys back soon. Bye. With the Muffin Man. Of course, finally, now that I'm finished recording, the tree trimmer guy is gone. Go figure. It's just a story of my life.